Yeah, much better day today. I really challenged the guys yesterday after the game, and I thought they responded. I thought we had a lot more urgency to the game today. I thought our focus was really good today. Obviously, big second inning there. Had some lulls in the middle, and the lull wasn't anything happening in the box. We just kind of shot ourselves in the foot a couple times with a few base running blunders a little bit there that we got to continue to clean up. But man, love the way we swung the bat. Obviously, piled on a few late there. And then the way we threw the ball was great. Bobby gave us a good start, hung a break ball in the first, and they jumped him for a double after a walk, and then he settled in, and the only other blemish was a solo homer, which I'll take that, man. It's a pretty good pitch, and the guy just ambushed it and got to it. So happy with the way we threw the ball. I thought Austin Morris was great. I thought Tyler Fay was great. Buck was great there at the end. So good way to finish the weekend. Obviously, we got to keep getting better, and that's what I told the guys. We're not judging ourselves against our opponent, whoever it is. It's the best version of how this group can play, and it was a good effort today, and we did some good things today, but we can keep getting better, and I think that's the beauty of this, and these guys know it, but you don't take any win for granted, man. It's sitting in a good spot and happy with the way they're competing, and now we got a tough week on the road, man. We got obviously heading to Jacksonville State on Tuesday, a good Troy team coming in on Wednesday, and then Presbyterian this weekend. So it's you enjoy it here for an hour or two this afternoon, then turn your attention to getting better and having a good week.
Coach, have you noticed your team's affinity for big second innings, and what do you attribute that to?
That's a great question, because Justin LeBron hits in the first. So I don't know, man. Like, they've been good in the second. They've been real good in the second. And some of that is, especially this time of year, you guys have heard me say that, we have scouting reports, but so much of it is there's still so limited information. And so those guys in the first are going up there a little bit blind, and then it's communicating what is the ball doing, what pitches is he throwing, how is it, what's the fastball shape like, what's the breaking ball look like. And so I don't know what it is, but man, the second inning's been good to the pack so far.
Coleman, does the locker room have a theory on why that is? Is that something you guys have noticed yet?
No, sir. We just try and do the best we can, staying on the barrel and not worrying about what the results are, and just trying to make hard contact as much as we can in order to drive the ball and be successful offensively as a whole.
Hey, Coach, speaking of Justin, what's the biggest improvement you've seen from him from year one to year two?
I mean, I don't even know if improvement's the right way I would say it, but just maturity, maybe. Like, it's one thing to be good when you're trying to prove yourself. It's another thing to be good when every single team you play circles your name and still produce. Like, that's not easy. Expectations can be a really hard thing to navigate at times, and he's been very mature about those. But I think the beauty is, like, what you're seeing there's not a whole lot of pressure on him either, because you've got guys all around him producing, and it's when you got to go be the guy and you're the only guy, it can be a lot. But when you're kind of the guy surrounded by a bunch of other dudes, I think that allows him to play a little bit freer and not force things. And man, it's been a heck of a start. Even his outs right now are loud. And should he just miss the homer to left, just miss the homer to center, hit that last sac fly, was 110 off the bat. Like, it's loud right now. And I think the beauty is the guys around him continue to make him better is a huge piece of it.
Coleman, how did you stay in the right mindset offensively after not starting opening day? And since then, you've arguably been the second best hitter on this team and or top 10 in the country in walks at the moment.
Just understanding that everyone has a plan, and just everyone has a timeline of their success, and just coming ready to play every day. And while we're taking batting practice, no one knows if you're in the starting lineup or not. So just every day trying to take every day to where you come and try and prepare yourself to play. And if you're playing, you're playing. If you're not, you're not. But just being a good teammate, and just being ready whenever your number's called.
Coleman, I don't know if Coach will like me asking this question, but y'all are one of the only 7 undefeated teams left in the country in terms of D1 programs. How does that speak to the work you put in over the offseason?
It's just nice to be able to win games that we should win, and then understanding that I think we have, is it 55 games? 55, knowing that at some point it's just baseball. You're not going to win 55 games in a row and just taking it one day at a time and just trying to stack days in order to be the team that we want to be.
Coach, obviously the Ohio State deficit was not all Bobby's fault, but to see him come back out today and give strong innings and punch out 7 guys, do you view that as kind of a rebound for him, and how did it feel for you to see that?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, those are tough at bats. Those guys give you, these guys here in North Dakota State, man. Like, they're scrappy, they compete, they get up inside the ball, and they don't roll over easy. So, you know, he commanded the fastball and better today, and I think that was helpful because it keeps teams from diving out over the plate. He threw some good sliders, he threw some good change. The curveball still kind of popped him in a little bit, threw a couple decent ones late in his outings, but man, he just attacked the strike zone, and I think that's the key to that thing. So, you know, he got us off to a good start, and then I think that trio of guys behind him was outstanding. They pounded the strike zone, and, you know, we had that one blemish in Ammo's hitting where I think we had a hit by pitch, and then pass ball, whatever, and they ended up scoring a run on it. But I liked the way we threw the ball. I thought Bobby had a good day for us.
Coach, I know we've talked about it a lot in here. 9 walks today and only 2 strikeouts. Kind of how does that speak to how everyone 1 through 9 is kind of being patient and working through counts?
Yeah, they're just doing a good job at, like, man, taking the borderline pitches and moving on the right ones, and he's a perfect example of it. You know, I mean, he's been all over the barrel, and what's he hitting right now? 340, and it could be significantly better. I mean, 2 of the hardest hit balls he had yesterday, one was a double play and the other was an out, you know, and just great swings. They're on time with the right pitches. So I love how they're functioning right there, and that's what you want. I mean, I've said that a lot. You guys, it's probably a broken record in here. Like, the more we are aggressive on the right pitches and take the borderline pitches, the better counts we're going to be, and the more guys are going to be on base, the more we're going to slug. All that goes hand in hand, and these guys are doing a great job of that, man. Like, you know, some pitches and Braun's grand slam, like, took some borderline sliders to get to the 3-1 heater. If he moves on those sliders, he doesn't get the 3-1 heater, and then he didn't miss it. So, you know, it's not a passive approach. It's not a let's go see pitches approach. It is just a laser locked on, if it's not in this zone, we're not moving. And if it is, we're not taking. And as a whole, I mean, that's going to always ebb and flow a little bit, but 12 games in, they've been pretty consistent at dominating that part of the plate.
Coleman, being in the 3-hole on an SEC team as a sophomore, obviously you're part of the lineup, you know, right there at the top, but can you just speak about what Richie's done? I mean, we talked about it up in the press box. Man just gets on base in that number 9 spot. How much easier does that make your job?
Yeah, Richie's one of my better friends on the team. I love it. Obviously, it says here he's hitting 450, but it seems like, I don't know what his on-base percentage is, but it's probably close to 600, and that is just really important for flipping the lineup back over and getting guys on base. And obviously, it really helps hitting between Justin LeBron and Jason Torres, who are both unbelievable players.
Torres homered in all 3 games. He's turned into a little bit of a lightning bolt. What do you guys make his performance?
I mean, JT's he's one of the best guys in the locker room. He's one of my favorite teammates. He's really funny, and he's starting to teach me some Spanish, so that might be coming soon.
Lord have mercy.
Couple more questions?
Are you guys as mind blown as us watching what Justin LeBron's doing day in and day out, kind of just putting up like video game like offensive numbers, or have you guys just gotten used to it on the?
It's kind of crazy. Like, you almost get more shocked when he doesn't do it at this point, you know, and it's wild. Like I said that, man, when he's up with the bases loaded, you're like, man, we're gonna score here. I don't know if it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, or 4, but we're gonna score here. But it is like, it's neat for me as a coach to sit back. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Like, jealousy on a team is a huge cancer, right? When there's no doubt Justin's a great player. No doubt we're very fortunate to have him here. But you see that at times. You see guys that get jealous of the attention, or they want it for themselves, and this team just wants to win. And they know the more he does that, the more we win. And it's been fun as a coach to kind of sit back and see our guys celebrate the success of everybody, both Justin, both Richie, Bryce, Torres, Doe, Norton, whoever it is. It's like they celebrate everybody's success, and that's a really neat thing that doesn't go unnoticed, and that's part of the reason these guys have been off to a good start. It's a very, very unselfish group right now.
Coach, the guy next to you had some really hard hit balls today, 3 hits, but some of those were scores. What do you make of what he's been able to do, step into this new role?
Actually, just incredible maturity on him. Like, Bull was ready to hit last year, there was no doubt, and had a great preseason, and was kind of in and out of the lineup at times, and then kind of tweaked his back a little bit and had some things he was navigating. But just the maturity of him to continue to show up, continue to grow, and just continue to get better. And, you know, one of you guys just said to me, he didn't start opening day, and I knew regardless of what happened, he was going to start game 2. But But man, just really proud of the human he is and how he's handled that and how he's approached that. And shoot, his third at bat today, I think he had 2 really loud outs to start and then hammered that next one at second baseman. I thought it was going to be a line out to second again, and I didn't know what we were going to have to do to buy him a knock. But just incredibly mature in the way he's approaching the game. And he's a middle-of-the-order SEC hitter. He's doing exactly what he was brought here to do, and he's thriving in it, and he's still a young player, man. He's still going to keep growing and keep getting better. But more than anything, just really proud of his maturity and how he's handled things from the day he got here to where we're at today.
Coach, what did you see at Coleman Buchanan today? It's his first time back on the mound since the Tennessee State game. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. What did you think about his performance today?
Yeah, everything was down. Everything was firm. The curveball had bite to it today. Backed up 1 cutter, but and yeah, he walked that 1 guy, but it was a competitive walk. He's all around the zone, was just messing with it. But man, when he's good, the hand speed is really good. It's going to be 89, 92 with a really tight curveball. Like, it's different because it's a downer and it's hard, and it's not a pitch a lot of guys see. And when he's not awesome, that thing starts popping on him, and when he's good, that thing comes out and just goes straight down. And I thought he was great today. It's again maturity on his part, and he's into an 11-3 game. The game is effectively over, but these guys understand, like, we're still navigating, figuring out that bullpen a little bit and figuring out who's best where. And when you go earn our trust in games like that with your focus, with your mindset, with your performance, you get a little bit more thrust on your plate and a little bit more thrust on your plate. So really happy with him. He's a senior. That guy loves this place more than anything, and so we're going to need him to continue turning outings in like that, because we're going to need him as we get rolling here.
One more question.
Coach, 5 stolen bases today. Can you just say what does that mean about your team's base running discipline?
Yeah, we wanted to run today, or we wanted to run in general more this year. But it's all situation dependent. We said all the time, pitcher, catcher, scoreboard. What's the score? How does the guy behind the plate throw? How is the guy's pick? What is his time to the plate? All that stuff kind of goes into it. And sometimes the matchup just tells you don't do it. If the guy's a 1-1 and the catcher's a 1-9 thrower, you're just going to run yourself into an out. And sometimes the math makes sense to do it. And we had some good matchups in that today. And these guys work on it every day, and so you just have to be ready. When it's time to do it, you can do it. And when it's not, you don't force it, and you trust the guys to hit. But it kind of presented itself a couple times today and ended up being really good for us.